America's most expensive drone, worth $230 million, just disappeared. However, it looks like Iran might have shot it down. Well, a few days ago, an American MQ-4C Triton drone, one of the US's most advanced intelligence drones, took off from the UAE to gather intelligence in the Persian Gulf. Now, this was actually a scheduled mission. This was nothing out of the normal. The US regularly flies drone flights around the coast of Iran to gather intelligence on Iran and other things like that. However, just a few moments after the drone took off and it started to gather intelligence on Iran and the Persian Gulf, it then surprisingly issued a distress signal. Now, this is rare in itself. These drones very rarely ever go wrong. They're very, very advanced. But for some reason, it's issued a distress signal, signaling that something was wrong. Now, usually that would be it. The US would figure out what the problem is, and then they would bring the drone back. However, just moments after it issued a distress signal, it disappeared from the map. That's right, open source flight radar information showed the drone gathering intelligence, and then, moments after it issued a distress signal, it just completely disappeared from the map. And that is exactly what happens when a drone or any aircraft is shot down. Now, these drones can fly for 24 hours. They're incredibly advanced. They very rarely ever go wrong. However, like any drone and any aircraft, it could, in theory, be shot down by electromagnetic jamming. In other words, if you jam the signal to the drone will just fall out of the sky. And that seems to be what could have happened here. Now, there's no guaranteed reports, but based on where the drone fell out of the sky, it would suggest that Iran might have jammed the signal to the drone, and the drone might have crashed and been destroyed. But it actually gets worse. Not only would the US have lost a $230 million drone, but the technology on that drone, if Iran has it, is pretty dangerous. These drones are equipped with some of the most advanced technology on the planet, and if it's fallen out of the sky, it's definitely possible that Iran could have captured it and taken it. And if Iran has now got this drone in their custody, and they're now gathering intelligence on the drone, it's not great for the US. Iran will have a lot of information as to what these drones can do, what information they can gather, etc. And so the US might be in a bit of a pickle here, and this is really not a good look for the US. It also will scare the US a bit because Iran wasn't meant to be able to do something like this. Of course, I'm not going to rule out maybe the drone did just fall out of the sky, but I don't really believe in coincidences, and a lot of other people don't too, and it looks like Iran might be behind this. If Iran was behind it, I actually wouldn't be surprised if Iran starts to release pictures and things of that drone to brag about the fact that they've shot down America's best drone. And so if they do that, you'll be glad that you followed me, because I'll be the first one to tell you about it.